We're gonna wait a little bit for people to join up. Nice to see you guys. Boom.
Hey, hey, Zach.
What's up? Turn on your cameras if you can. Love to see you guys.
What's going on, everybody?
Wow.
Hey, hey, Nick.
What's up, Alex?
Yeah.
No worries if you can't turn your phone on, but love to see as many of you guys as possible.
I'll pop up for a second. I'm driving.
Oh, what's up, Hayden? All right.
Jar of the
Just gonna
Red
quickly
bag? Your daddy want to open in the fridge.
post this.
Okay, man.
Quickly
Sure,
post
you
this.
check before because can't have that many jars of chili open.
Awesome. Let's go. All right, got a couple more people joining up.
What up?
What up?
Cabbage patties.
Boom, boom. Man. Okay, boom. Gonna let a couple people more in.
Yeah, thanks for whatever.
Anybody want to share a win for the day before we start up?
Trash.
Who's got a win? Who's got a win for Kendama? Who's got a win that they want to share with the group?
I wouldn't say it's a win today. I got a win yesterday, which was a big cup inward flip to lighthouse. So for me, that's big. For me, that's like I'm like stoked on that. Not today, yesterday, but it's still a win.
Yeah, that's
Let's
sweet.
go.
Probably, yeah. I've been loving seeing the daily posting, the daily work you're putting in, dude. It's really paying off, and it's so awesome to see your progress day by day get better.
Yeah, I mean, I've been noticing it myself, so that's why I decided I wanted to do that because I can see it, right?
Yeah,
I literally see it, like
absolutely, dude. All right, cool. We'll start up just a second. Okay. Nice. Welcome, guys.
Is there any special name for a UFO flip out to inward lunar?
I think that's the name.
That's it.
That's it? Because that was
Yeah.
my win yesterday as well.
That's
Wow.
awesome. All right, guys. We're gonna get started. Oh, what's up, Avery? Sick. That's good.
Gotcha.
All right.
Cool.
Cool. And admitting one more person. All right. All right, cool. All right, guys, we're gonna get started. And thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Means a lot. First ever community meeting. So basically for today, we're going to start this meeting off by just going over exactly what Gallagher Kendama is, why Nick and I started it, who it's for, and our vision going forward. And after that, we'll go into Q&As, discussion, Q&As you guys have for Nick and I, and also we're gonna be asking you guys some questions as well. All right, cool. So
I didn't get you one.
Kendama, what? All right, we'll just start.
Read the chat.
So what problem do we intend to solve by starting Gallagher Kendama? So despite Kendama being so awesome, we're seeing in slow motion, we're developing high-level hand-eye coordination, new neural patterns, keeping our brains young. Like honestly, the stuff we're doing is actually incredible if you kind of zoom out of it. It's really special. But the problem is that the global perception of Kendama isn't even a tenth of what it deserves. Basically, the problem is that we're trying to solve with this is that Kendama is not 100 times bigger than it is right now. And again, even despite the skill level being extremely, extremely high, right? Like the things we're doing are so incredible. It's not a skill issue. It's not any fault of a person, the game's not a high enough level because it's extremely high level. But despite all this, Konami has been in a sort of a lull in the past couple of years. The majority of company owners can tell you that. And the lull is not at fault of anyone in particular. In fact, brands are always making moves, so this goes in the opposite.
No, I just took it just now.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Doesn't really matter.
But the lull is still there. So Nick and I thought, okay, how can we help propel Kendama forward the best way that we can? And a lot of people, maybe some people on this call, thought we were going to start a Kendama company or join another team. Obviously, we posted that video, Future's Bright, Soul posted something. I was like, okay, I'm gonna ride that way for a second here. But with all this thought going around, what Nick and I were actually asking ourselves were, what would happen if we worked inward first? What would happen if we put our all into developing the game at its first and most important level, the community? And what would happen if we took only the people of the community who actually really, really, really cared, really, really gave a shit? As in, have Kendama as a major part of their lives, generally want to not only see themselves grow as players, but generally want to see Kendama grow on a global scale. And of course, those who are also thinking extremely big with Kendama, or at least if you're just starting out, open-minded to receiving, thoughts that are from players more advanced, players more experienced, like that are very, very much big and very much, forward thinking in today's game.
Yeah, guys. Zach just identified, pretty much gave half the speech of where I was going to take, because we were both trying to tell you guys with the problem, and so this is our vision of what we're trying to fix here, and what we're trying to fill a void. We believe that Gallagher Kendama is filling this school community, is filling the void that has been left open in the community for several years. I think Kendama in the past 4 years has been a little stagnant. It's actually been extremely stagnant. I think we've become complacent, whether we know it or not. The real next level of it becoming globally known on a worldwide phenomenon of a sport. Kendama can be whatever you want it to be, of course, but I think if it was on this next level that we all know it should be on, it would benefit every single person who plays the game for whatever purpose they play it for. And Gallagher Kendama is this invitation. It's this invitation to join not only Zach and I, but those out there who want to take part, play a meaningful role in the growth of Kendama and its success. This is a invitation to become an ambassador of the game in a group of other people who want to do the exact same and bring it up to the highest level. And if you have never been a part of some sort of team or group or of people who really want to do the same thing as you, this is your chance. This is now a team you are on. This is, we are on a path to expose Kendama to all groups, all tribes, all people around the world, and we want Kendama to serve its purpose for those in their each individual sports, their individual interests. I truly believe Kendama is such a unique, extremely unique toy that is transforming and can be transformed into a helpful asset in anybody's life, not just by passing time or killing time here and there, like a fidget spinner or any other skill toys that are just a lot simpler than this, ball and cup. I mean, this is changing so many lives, and we can do it on a much bigger level together if we work. Oh, someone's got a butterfly knife. There we go. Yeah. But Kendama, this is a true spot for the ambassadors of the game. A lot of us find our highest states experience at the Kendama events, but lack belonging or inspiration outside of them due to not having as many people around them, where they live and where they can express, themselves fully like we can at events. And, that is something that I was unaware of for many years because I've had Zach all my life. Then I came to Japan. It was a little bit different, and I'm trying to resonate with that feeling a little bit more. I can actually kind of understand it a bit better. And this is our solution. This is our answer to that. So why SKOOL? Why not Facebook? Why not Reddit? Why not Discord? You know, I was asked this a couple times. And SKOOL, first and foremost, is something new. It's something fresh. SKOOL's a platform, a place for people to come to learn. Facebook, Discord, we all know that, you know, there are Kendama groups in there that have served their purpose in the past and continue to serve purpose in some ways now. But these platforms are also used for many other things. And you go on there, get distracted, and you know, some people I've checked the Kendama groups in themselves, and you know, there are a couple things that I think we can do without. Not to say that, you know, any group can't be facilitated and looked after. But I think getting on a new platform where the sole purpose is, hey, coming on here to share value, to learn, or to come celebrate with my team, to connect with my team. I think that is to have the sole purpose of that be this app. I think that's massive. There's just no other time. There's no wasted time scrolling and doing other things, getting caught by shorts or Facebook stories or anything you see on Discord. There's a lot of notifications that go around that can distract us. And all the notifications that are coming in on SKOOL are ones that are for you, that are meaningful. That is a place we're trying to make it. I want people, yeah, to come on SKOOL with the sole purpose of to learn and level up. I want every Canal player to know that they have a place to go to day in and day out that truly just does nothing but benefit them and the community. This is a one-stop shop for connection and progression. This is our first attempt at a place that is just going to get you to a higher state in Kendama. Some of you are noticing that, you know, your levels 2, 3, and 4 so far in the community, and that there are leaderboards in this community based on activity. And it's a very plain and simple game. The overall points right now are for the most active members in the community at the end of each month. And at the end of each month, we will be giving prizes to those who contribute the most in the community, whether it be commenting on other posts or posting their own videos, posting their own questions, posting and being active, adding value to the community. Whoever does the most will be getting rewarded. And that's the name of the game. We just want people to be on this. We want people to benefit others. We want to help people to learn from others. You know, there are people who are one step behind you on the same level as you and one step above you in whatever you're trying to pursue in Kendama right now. And it is important to be around those people because that is how you grow the fastest as a Kendama player. And now the short-term vision, 3 months. What do we plan on including from here? I think Zach
So
can.
the short-term vision, next 3 months, we want to get this community as lively as possible. We want to attract everybody who aligns with the visions of those who want to be true ambassadors of the game across the entire world. You know, we are at 240 members so far, but I know for damn sure there's more out there that know that they would feel like home, that they would feel like truly resonate, truly a part of this community if they were aware. And the goal for these next 3 months is to find every single person in the existing Kendama community and get them in here. Get those people who align with all those of you who have joined, and to, you know, be connected in one spot on the internet, one condensed spot where we can all interact with each other. And how we're going to do that, and how we're going to add, you know, some stuff we're going to look to add into this community is competitions, monthly prizes, top 3 leaderboard players, weekly calls, presentations on what Nick and I have learned throughout the past 12 years of pursuing Kendama, plus anything you guys want to see specifically, talking, whether it be trick tutorials, all the way from how to navigate traveling to your first overseas event. You know, everything involved in Kendama that you would like to have help with, or you're interested in. Nick and I want to do our best to help you. And the best part about this whole thing is we're all going to help each other grow. We're all going to help each other. We all have our own unique experiences with Kendama in our towns, cities, traveling, in our own, how many years we put into it, what we've experienced. And the most valuable thing of all is that we're all here together and we're able to connect with each other and interact on that level. The base I truly believe that the base of any sport, any art form is the community. And a building can only be built as high as its base allows. To reach higher, we're going to have to find the answer by delving deep into the base of our sport first. To reach higher in kendama globally, I truly believe that narrowing and developing and honing in on the community aspect is absolutely crucial. The community brings out all the criteria that Nick and I have covered in this past meeting so far, and I'm really, really, really excited to do this with you guys and to have this spot where we can all interact. We have to have this spot where we can all level up together. So really, really stoked to be here with you guys. As Nick said, I want to reiterate one more time. SKOOL is new and it is gamified. So take a look at the leaderboards. I believe Joe Brackman's in first. and it's going to be awesome to see, who just the people who are really contributing the most to the community. And we value each and every single one of you, but just want to highlight again that there are going to be prizes and, people, there are going to be rewards for people who are the most active and giving the most, interacting with the most people in the spot. And just to end this too, like this community, we value it so much. We value your guys' time and the quality of this community as well. That being said, we've seen in other communities that have tried, or certain existing communities, or some communities that have tried to be awesome communities in the past, where people are on there, they don't share the same vision, the same alignment, and some people exist on there just to cause, corruption, hate, drama, all this stuff. I see that a lot in other communities. If any of that is here, you're kicked out of your band for life. Like that's just not going to fly here. There's no room for that. It's just another distraction, we want to have a high level of quality in this community. And so with that being said, we will not tolerate any of that BS, going forward. So awesome. That is right now. I want to open it up to Q&As for everybody. Got 34 people in here. So anything you guys want to have any more clarity on, or anything you guys want to see from us going forward, maybe more questions for us, what we want to do with this. Yeah, again, thank you guys. So just raise your hand and I'll just call on you. If you guys want to raise Zoom, it's you go to reactions and then you can press raise hand.
Yeah, I think Lawrence has a
yeah, we'll start with Lawrence.
What's up, guys? I just want to talk a little bit about like my experience with Kendama. I'm very new in the community, but like I've noticed like a lot of progress with myself. And I like what you guys are doing. I'd say like the one biggest thing that's helped me so far is just like I'm a freshman in college and I've been just bringing my Kendama around with me like everywhere. So like that kind of just keeps me encouraged to play and like share with others. Like I've made a lot of friends, and like one of my friends plays ballad song and now he's getting into like kendama and stuff. So I'm kind of just like trying to spread it a little bit, and then I have friends down at another school who've spread it too. So it's just kind of cool to like see the spread of it all and stuff. So just wanted to speak on that, but I'll definitely keep up with the community that you guys are creating.
awesome, Lawrence. Yeah, there is no, it's great to spread the kendama at your school. Where do you go to school at the moment? What
I'm at
state?
Cleveland State. And I also, another thing, I was on Kendama Depot, and I was on the map feature that they have, and I just hit this dude up, and I'm going to like my first jam with like some random ass people on Sunday. So that's kind of like, but like, I mean, like that trick I can do is like, probably like inward lunar flip, shit like that. But it's a progress like you guys were saying. And I was watching Alex Harris's story, and one of the tips that he put in there was what was it? It was, don't compare yourself to other people, compare yourself to your past. And like I remember when I was thinking like, oh my god, like I'll never even be able to lunar, and now I can like inward lunar flip, and I know that's like not the hardest trick in the world, but like for me, it's just progress. So
Absolutely, man. No, I'm glad you have been watching Alex's stories. He's been putting up so much value and offering his perspective on the Kendama world. I mean, he's just putting up so many things he's learned throughout the process and giving so much away to the community. Um, and I'm glad that you're going to the Sunday Jam with Kendama Depot. I think, yeah, I know a couple of people who make it out there. Kevin, who's in the same area.
it's not with
Uh,
Kendama Depot. It's just like someone from the map thing, but same
Someone
shit.
from that. Someone from that.
Yeah.
Well, either way, no, I'm really glad that you're going to your first jam. It changes the game. It changes everything. It's really exciting to have jams with people around you who are close to you. And I know that, there are clubs at different schools already. Cooper, who's I think is in the chat right now. He goes to Washington State University. He started up a Kendama club. He's a sophomore and putting on for his school and getting community grown out there. So there is someone who is in the same shoes as you. If you would like to pursue that, and you can definitely go to Cooper and ask him all about how he's gotten on it. And there's also, of course, UW Kendama at University of Washington. I know there's a lot of members who play there, and it's grown in the past 2 years quite a bit. And there's, it just started from an idea, and it just started from the fact that, hey, we want to grow it in our area, and it just took community coming together, and it's become something very, very amazing. So I have no doubt that you can do it at your school as well, Lawrence. And but first, I'm glad that you're getting exposed to jamming with others for the first time. It all starts there, and then hopefully in the future, using people on school and people in this community to help you actually establish your own club. If that's something you're interested in, I think it's going to only benefit your Kendama game and the community around you. So yeah, thank you for sharing your story. That is really, really exciting. The next question from
Guys, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, Lawrence. The next question from Zoom. It says Zoom user, so I'm not sure about the name, but
Yeah, you're raising
with the
your
Reds-
hand. Zoom user, you have a soul. You have
With the
a
soul.
soul Tama. I mean, no, sorry, I have Sula Tama.
Yeah.
I think you know who you are. Yeah,
I think muted.
yeah. He's unmuted him. Or I can unmute him. I think. Well, I'll do that.
Yep.
All right, cool.
What's up? What's up, guys? It's Noah from Sosu Kendama Company. I don't know why I'm Zoom user right now, but that's me. I guess so. You guys touched a little earlier on like the lull that there's been the last few years with Kendama and stuff, and definitely have noticed that. I was just wondering, like, if you think that the way we do compete with Kendama could evolve or change or be more unified in a way to really like take it to the next level, because we're coming up with like world rankings a lot nowadays and stuff, and you're doing a lot of open comps in America, and then you go over to the World Cup, and that's a completely different game. So just a way to like really set the next tier of Kendama players apart. If there's any thoughts or ways you think that could happen.
I'm taking a bath shower.
I'm gonna mute that. All right, cool. And yeah, I'd like to start. Yeah, so awesome question. I would 100% think that we are literally on the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Kendama competition. It's a good system so far, 100%. But if I said this is the peak of what could be happening with competition, that would be totally against even like the reason why we
Right.
started this community in the first place. I think I envision so many opportunities with more economic styles of competition, creating completely new genres. You could do a spin-off of open, a spin-off of freestyle, but completely new genres. I'm talking like I would love to see and would love to implement in the future something like a team event. We're all sponsor players are in teams usually. They're people in the pro level bracket, they're in teams. What does a 3-on-3 Kendama competition look like? Like 5-on-5, where they're all wearing the team's colors. You're all showing up. You're competing in an organized format, and it's like a basketball game. Do like 5-on-5, like hoop fest. Like all this stuff. I would love to see more of a team aspect, and that would really, like that would be massive, because then the companies you're putting your top 3 players in. You're telling who has the most chemistry,
Right.
and you're considering so many different factors. Kendama for sure is an individual. It's not like I pass you the Tama and you spike. I mean, that could be a new competition. Who knows? But that would add so many new elements to Kendama, where I think not only would add like spice and novelty to the game, but let's talk about the spice and kind of interest level that would be gained from the global perspective from that. It's like when people are doing stuff by themselves, regular people are just seeing a blur. They're like, oh, okay, they're literally seeing a blur when you're doing like
Yeah.
a triple jumping stick hurts and jumbles. But when there was a team aspect involved, I mean, people see there's multiple people and they're trying to work together. It's like, oh, okay, like, well, like this is something we can like actually relate to because most sports are
Right on.
team based. I think there's massive potential there. Nick, do you have anything?
Yeah, just to add on the unity aspect, there is, I mean, I've seen it in Japan multiple times, the clubs that are coming, Zach, I remember in 2016 at the first time we went to Japan, the JK Festa, we pull up to that event and we see a lot of competitors coming in and it's still individual, it's still, and just like someone said in the comments, track and field is individual, but also team effort, Kanama can be the same thing. And we see all these little kids with these uniforms from different dojos and clubs come to compete at this world event. And it's just, I mean, that catches your attention right away. Which color are you going to cheer for? Which team are you going to root for? It is individual, but there's just something about that unity aspect, that team aspect that everyone wants to be a part of. I saw those kids and I was thinking, wow, I want to be a part of a team. I want to be showing up to an event, rolling in with 10, 20 other guys, 30 other guys, however big the team may be. Who knows if it's JV or varsity or whatever that is, or the starting 11 or starting 5. I want to be rolling in with those guys. And this is just Zach and I are just giving it one example of what can happen and take place. I mean, I've also seen esports. I've been watching videos that have sold out stadiums to people on sitting in the center, sitting in front of a bunch of monitors and going at it 5v5 to win a world championship, to win a tournament, to win a cup. And it's epic. It's incredible. The atmosphere is amazing. And Kanama has such a right to be at the same spot. I know it can. And
Yeah.
because what we do on a day-to-day basis is so much different than anybody else. And what we're able to achieve and perform and create with Kanama, I think it's huge, huge steps to be taken. Definitely going over that fleshed out this year. Zach and I are just going to be thinking all the time and implementing our ideas into the chats, getting your guys' opinions. And yeah, we are just really excited to keep talking about this and making and taking actions towards leveling it up.
Sick. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, next person we're gonna start. I'm so sorry. I actually talked to Rodney. I literally talked to Rodney like yesterday on how to pronounce your name. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know you're from Poland.
I just
You pronounce it like Krzysiek. Yeah, I know it's hard.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
You pronounce it Krzysiek. It's kind of impossible. Out of my yeah, but friends call me every day like this. Or you
Okay,
can
cool.
call me Krzysztof. That's my full name. But Krzysiek is I don't know how to call it, like a little bit shorter form of that.
Hmm.
Okay, but going for my question is, will there be a lunar and lighthouse and maybe axe scalability tests?
Yeah, definitely a lot more of those coming in the future. They're going to be a lot better than the stilt one. The stilt one was just the first test on what I come up with. And there's definitely going to be ones for lighthouse, definitely ones for lunar. I'm really excited to make those when I get back with Zach. We're going to be able to make them a lot faster with much more quality. And hopefully at one point, I think, we're obviously aiming to make it gamified as well. Right now, you can self-test and record yourself, and it's more of a self kind of judge thing, which is great. Just something to kind of work on your own time. But in the future, this is me just spitting ideas right now. Maybe there could be something that could take place on Kanamonomics that could offer point systems like that and rewards like that as well. But yes, there's definitely going to be more scalability tests, scalability solutions with Lunar, Lighthouse, and a lot more tricks you can see. So really, really excited for that.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. And then the next one is from Isaac.
Yo, what's up, guys?
It's good, man.
I was wondering like if there is a certain level or like a experience level that you should be at or need to be at to be a part of this community. Like if you need to be playing for a certain amount of time, or if you need to have been like at a certain level to be a part of this.
So no, because the only prereq that Nick and I are thinking of is this is the mentality. Is the mentality because I
Right.
think anybody can have big dreams and big thinking, can think really big with Kendama, no matter what skill they are. I think just how we attract those type of people and exit out the other people is just, honing in and being, really following that vision and helping each other out in the ways we can through this community and setting that message to the outside as best we can. And the more we're apart, the more we interact with this community. So no skill level needs to be reached, no experience. We already have people in here who I can tell really, really love Kendama and are really interested in it, but have only been playing for, let's say, 6 months seriously, or maybe just coming up on a year. So no skill level, no experience, no years in needed. Just the mentality that we're all reflecting in the vision that we're all heading for.
Okay. Yeah. So if you had just started, you're a week or two in even, but if you have the mentality to grow and to progress, then this community is for you.
100%. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. When someone comes into the community, they should easily be able to see just scrolling through that, people in here are really about Kendama and really trying to really helping each other out every single post, they'll see how much it's been interacted with and all of that. And obviously the members of this community are quality and we'll always be striving for that. So that's the vision so far. And cool. Thank you, Isaac. Boom. All right. Javi.
Hi. Yeah, my question is actually a pretty good follow-up to Kendamanomics because when I first heard of Kendamanomics, I loved it, but I got a little intimidated by the fact that there's a leaderboard and the names that are at the top are understandable where they're at the top. It just feels a little intimidating. And I feel like in this community, I don't feel as intimidated, although they're still very high-level players. My question regarding this would be, how would you guys handle keeping it that way, or making sure that there's that place for comfortable,
Yeah. So you are intimidated about Kenomonomics because there are good players in the same app as you? Or is there something?
Kind of, but it's not. I mean, I've tried it, I've downloaded it, I've checked it out, but it's
Yeah.
intimidating to I wouldn't say discouraging, but it's intimidating to be in the same environment as these high level people. Like I went to Battle of the Border for the first time ever, and seeing these high level players was both exciting and a little bit intimidating, like a little overwhelming. So just trying to just bring that up.
Well, I'll let you know, Chavi, right now. It's definitely intimidating for a little bit to get in front of the best players in the whole world. It's definitely, I feel the exact same way. I remember my first event. And for several events, it is going to be intimidating. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be, you're going to get anxious. And I think that's a good feeling to have. I really think that's unless you're thinking of it as something negative or something that you don't want to have. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. But from what I'm getting from you is that, I think you're just excited. I think you're just excited. And I know the intimidation is there, but that's part of the game. And it's good to be surrounded by those of such a high skill level and to just have them to be in the same room or community as them. I think it's going to add a lot to your game. And it's going to make you think a little differently about how to progress and what you could actually achieve. But I think for this community as well, Gallagher Kendama, Kenomonomics and it's all based on points right now for who's getting the most tricks. And, if that is something that is intimidating you in any way, I mean, this in SKOOL that, there is going to be stuff like that in the future, but the point system right now is just for anybody who is giving the most back to the community, who is commenting, who is being active enough, you see Joe Brackman at the top of the list right now. He's been interacting and with everyone the most out of the people who joined so far. And it's not all about skill. It's just about the vision. It's just about your mindset. It's just about wanting to take Kendama to the next level. And I think anybody, regardless of their skill level, can do that. But it is just a bonus, in my opinion, to be around some of the best players in the world, in the community, and be in the same place as them. So I think, in the future, as this goes on, I'm looking forward to seeing many high level players joining and offering what they have to give to us, and then also helping us along the way achieve goals in relation to skill or whatever they're at. I think it'll only benefit. So I hope that answers your question, and I hope you still. I honestly hope you still continue to feel a little bit excited, a little bit anxious, a little bit intimidated by these things, just because it's I mean, you don't get this feeling anywhere else. I haven't got it anywhere else for a long time, and this is something that's very unique. So I hope that answers your question, Chavi.
Yeah, I mean, just to close it off, it's definitely intimidating, but it's also ambitious. It kind of exposes me to what I envision. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the angst of first time seeing those pro players in person. Like when I went to Battle of the Border, first day was anxious, second one was more normal, and I still have that jittery excitement, right? Of like intimidation, but not in a bad way. But
Yeah.
Nick, do you mind
And
if I jump in?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, Chavi, I totally know what you're talking about. Like, what if you're a player who has just started and you're working on stilt, and then you see these top players who've been playing for years, and they're doing the triple stilt tray, which just seems so impossible. It really is demotivating. I mean, if it's not overwhelming, it's demotivating because you're like, this is so far away. But just keep in mind that those players at some point also felt that way, and they just kept playing just like you are every day. And as the days count up, and as the years keep going, they get closer and closer. I don't think with those players, like the top of the leaderboard of Konaminomics where they are right now, it's not like they are 100% impressed with how they've gotten there. They're just taking it day by day and trying to do what's better. And they're looking at better players, like they're looking at the best players in the world that are better than them, and being like, God, Takia is so far away from me. So it's one of those things that I think the best thing you can do is someone said the quote about improving yourself every day. That's super important. And honestly, at an event, like when you watch these top players doing the craziest tricks, I think at an event there's going to be people that are at your level, that they're maybe a little bit ahead of you, and you can go squat up with them, play Kendama with them, see what they can teach you, and that's gonna like be your progression system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I've also started to feel that a little bit because I live in Montreal. I've never been with any other players, and seeing the high level players was intimidating, but it's also very it makes me realize that it's really just enjoy the process, right? They enjoyed the process, that's why they have enjoyed grinding. So
Totally.
I think it's just like the physical angst, the that first step.
Yeah, for sure.
Chavi, you'll be at the same place where you're feeling right. You're going to be that person to other people, in the future. People are going to be like, oh, God, Chavi's here. It's going to freak some people out, but then you'll be able to lead them and guide them on the way. So, it's just all about enjoying the process and putting in the time.
And I want to just add one final thing on top of what Isaac said. Exactly, Isaac said, these players at the top, that it's not like most of them aren't thinking that like, oh man, like I'm good. Like I'm really the best. Like I don't need to. I've reached my pinnacle point. Like I've achieved my highest point in Kendama. I've achieved my goal. No, the high like I love telling people this because this is just generally how I feel. I'm 12 years in. I've over 10,000 hours in Kendama. I feel I can relate to you so much on how you feel right now in terms of, there's a feeling where there's always more. There's an infinite amount more, and that of players who are like way, of a very much higher skill level. I went to KWC this past year, and when Takia came into the room, like totally unannounced, I didn't know he was going to be there. I was like, I immediately went like, oh, I need to go warm up for like half an hour. just to like even stand next to this kid. Like, like I literally, or over half an hour so I can like play like at a 20th of the level he plays at, just to make sure. No, that was all that was my mentality, because I was like, oh, like I got a little bit of like, excitement, nervousness, a mixture of feelings, because he is who he is. And just want to tell you that, because no matter, I'm a person of a lot of experience in Kendama, a lot of hours put in, but I can tell you right now that feeling of wanting to improve, if you're truly growth minded, you're that feeling of you wanting to improve, and your motivation is mostly intrinsic, it's always going to be the same no matter what you lace. It's always like, all right, what's next? And that's the most beautiful part about Kendama. It's actually limitless. And so that feeling of that, and plus the feeling of playing with high level players, doesn't go away. It's honestly a beauty that it doesn't. So I want to say that.
Well, thank you for the answers. I appreciate it.
All right.
I got a question for the Gallaghers. How do you not get demotivated with Kendama?
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I think Michael's next with the question. So I'll get back to you in a bit, Phantom
Yeah,
Dom,
no
on that.
problem.
But yeah, we'll go in order. So Michael, Ivan, and then Phantom Dom on that. Yes. Michael, go ahead.
There we are. You got two Aussie accents in a row here. So first of all, yeah, really cool, exciting to be here. And I really love the classroom modules as well. My main focus for this year is to try and grow our scene in Australia. I think at the moment we've probably only got maybe 25 players, consistent players. But despite that, we have such a huge skating and surfing culture. Like Kendama fits in so perfectly with kind of the cultures that we do have going on here. So I wanted to know whether or not down the track there might be resources similar to what you guys have done with your other modules that maybe you can touch on some of the successes you guys have had with growing, like UW Kendama or other people who've grown communities, and any benefits there or things that have worked really well.
Yeah, we will definitely be. No, that's excellent. That's an excellent idea. Zach and I will definitely be adding that. Australia seems. That's actually an incredible thing to hear, that there are 25 players in Australia. I've never been, so I can't really. I don't know the scale, but Kendama, like you just said, it ties in so well with surfing, skating, and these other sports. And we want Kendama to eventually just be the sport to your sport, the skateboard for your hands, because it can truly benefit so many people in their own individual ways. I think, yeah, Zach and I will definitely be having to make a lot of modules and guides and offer our experiences of growing several communities in Seattle over the past, we lived there for 11 years. UW Kendama is the most recent and greatest example. You see Max Kawaguchi in the chat. He plays a big part in UW Kendama now, and I met him. Well, I met him through Kendama. I did play soccer with him one game 10 years ago, but I pretty much grew my friendship with Max, and all through Kendama, and it was one of my best friendships I've ever made. And here he is today, still in the community, still in UW Kendama, still offering that community for other people in Seattle, and he's here in school right now in the meeting. We can definitely, there's a lot of people that help you here with growing a community, giving you tips and just different ways on different ideas on how to spread it. But yeah, Zach and I will definitely be making modules for that purpose. But you can also go right ahead and just kind of get a gist for it now. If you want to post questions in the general discussion on SKOOL in our Gallagher Kendama forum, please feel free. Zach and I'll be working hard and making that a top priority, actually, once we becoming reuniting in the next week. We have a lot of stuff to make for you guys, and this is definitely on the top end of the list. So thank you, Michael.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right. Ivan.
Hi guys, I'm Ivan, and I wanted to ask if you would recommend for 10 months old player of Kendama to go to a team. Because I'm trying to enter a team that is in Romania. The Kendama popularity just started again in Romania after 4 or 5 years. And I've been playing for 10 months and I'm attending to enter the team that is available right now.
Yeah. So basically, just to clarify, is your question kind of based around how to gain, the position on a team, how to be a part of a team?
Yeah, basically. And how to enter it, because like in one day from now, I have the final answer if I'm in or not.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like you're already in the process.
Yeah, I am. I posted like 5 videos and no one else posted, but they posted like somebody that's not on the team, and I'm kind of scared that they're going to put that guy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm nervous also.
Yeah. So I will. So first of all, like Nick and I know 100% that the desire to be affiliated with a company, to be sponsored, is a massive goal for the high majority of Kendama players. And
Yeah.
because of that, yes, I mean Nick and I actually have already stuff written out for our personal opinion. We actually already have a podcast on how to get sponsored. We will be making a more in-depth course and like our biggest tips for this when we get back together. We can actually film a quality sectioned off like videos for this specifically. But yeah, for your individual situation, it sounds like you're already in, and you'll just find out either way, like tomorrow. But for that whole general goal, right? That whole general goal that most Canal players aspire to, Nick and I will be creating something for sure. And it's some people really focus on doing some sort of tricks or like just have aren't exactly clear with their intentions of being sponsored. I think a big part of being sponsored is really honing in on your intentions and like your goals with the sponsorship and really noticing where they're coming from. We'll talk all about that in the course that we're gonna make for it. So yeah, I don't want to go into that too much on this call because we have more questions. But basically, all I want to say right now, Ivan, is good luck. Is good luck because it sounds like you're gonna get the results back either way tomorrow. So good luck, dude. I hope it goes well and
Hopefully.
good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think the next question, if we go in order, is from Phantom Dama, and he said, how do you stay, what was it? How to not get, I guess, lost
How to
in
stay
Kendama
motivated.
to stay motivated. Yeah.
I got another question instead. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's okay.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to explain it.
Yeah.
How do you grow as a Kendama player in the community, like on Instagram? Like I feel unmotivated and like it's hard to get recognition.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how long you've been on Instagram or
one of the
Since
guys
2021.
brothers twins.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue to answer this. For everyone's situation, it's a little different. It's easier for others, and I think the number one thing you can do is to just be. I mean, Zach and I also did kind of cover this in one of our topics already that we've posted as a podcast or online. We will definitely be making more of a thought out I guess guideline as well as one of the first podcasts that we did. So if you are on Spotify or YouTube, you can go to Gpod and check one of those out. We talked about how to. It's actually I think in the how to get sponsored. I think it's part of that. It's part of that. It being active on Instagram, but yeah, you in a gist. I'm not sure what level you're at with in relation to popularity or Kendama skill level or location. I'm not sure these factors, but I'm gonna go with the assumption right now with a certain scenario that you have, that you are alone and that you have been on Instagram for a short amount of time and that you have, there's a How to Get Sponsored podcast in the Zoom chat if you want to check that out. I'm just gonna go with all the bare minimums here. For me, and because I did the same exact thing. I posted on YouTube, I posted on Instagram. I went through the same exact process. I just posted a lot, and I'm not saying post just to post and do throw random content out there that isn't truly, I guess, things you are proud of, but more so the fact that of things that you're happy you've created, such as videos, such as edits, such as photos of where you are and where you want to be in Kendama. Um, I don't know the accessibility you have to a gym to people around you, but I'm gonna go with the assumption of zero for this example. I think you just have to be consistently on there and involved with not just scrolling uh, and watching other people, but you want to be adding and posting more of your own videos, your pictures, your thoughts and ideas on Instagram as well. And that can come from, and anybody can take value from that. You as a, and once again, I'm just using as basic examples here. You as a intermediate player who's been playing for, let's just say 8 months. What is their mindset? Well, who else is dealing with this problem? Who else wants to be more recognized on Instagram? How do we get more feedback? You can open up these ideas, put them on your story, put them on your Instagram, tag people from the Skool community, help share it. People are going to be coming to you, giving you answers and being open. And those who are on the same path, we want to, link with this guy because he's experiencing what we're experiencing. And then boom, you have friends online. You guys are in the same group chat. You guys are growing. Maybe a team is involved. There is a lot of possibilities. So I think the best thing to do right now in your situation is just to post and don't be afraid to post whatever you are actually thinking right now. Obviously, everyone loves to see tricks, loves to see photos of Kendama, but if you're posting your perspective as this Kendama player who's trying to find recognition, as someone who's intermediate, we'll just say, for example, intermediate who's been playing for maybe 8 months to a year. I mean, these are things that a lot of people can relate to. And so if you just go out there and post online and share these raw thoughts, then you are going to get feedback and you are going to get some attention and overall some more community aspect behind it. So that answers your question.
And I want to add also, you're now in a place where you are connected with all these players of amazing quality and just amazing people in general. Being active in here, that's one great way to do it. So
Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And going forward, guys, I know there's three people with their hands raised. Let's cover all the questions first that are like revolving around the Gallagher Kendama's community. I totally want to get to all of you guys, but let's make sure we get those first, and then after that, we can totally cover anything else anybody has.
Hi guys, I have a more general question. Like, we're all here to grow the Kendama community, and I want to know what are your thoughts? Like, one X to grow the community is like doing events where you can battle opens or freestyle. What do you think of doing like more social events, like going to hospitals, watching kids, teaching them the kendama, because the kendama helped me a lot with some troubles I had, and yeah, I found this aspect of the kendama, like the how you call it, the healthy way, no, the mentality health way. I don't know how you say that in English correctly, but what are your thoughts on basically sharing the kendama to players who don't want to actually compete, just have something in their hands to do?
Yeah, to help. So you're asking, what do you think about spreading Kendama to different people with different needs who are not trying to become the best competitors, but to help in certain situations, just like just like Kendama helped you get out of some troubles in the past. I think I think that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing, right? I think Kendama, it can be whatever you want it to be, and it serves a different role for everybody. And I know there are, not everyone out there is going to be trying to become the next greatest Kendama player in the world, the next best competitor. But I think Kendama is such a unique thing that it can offer so much value to people in different tribes and when I say tribe, I mean different niches and different groups out there. You know, when we're talking about, say, for example, I have a friend who plays ultimate frisbee at a pro level. His name's Tony, and he played kendama a lot when we were going to school together, and he made this ridiculous catch one day, and he came to me the next day and to Zach and I the next day and said, "Hey, that catch actually wouldn't have been possible if I wasn't playing kendama," and I was pretty shocked to hear that, because he is such a good player, but you know, kendama had taken his hand-eye coordination and whatever else to the next level, and his awareness, and he was able to make the catch, and he thanked kendama for that. And I think it's the same thing for your situation here. Kendama is the reason you were able to get through some hard times, and I think that's an experience that you have a very unique take on because you have actually done it yourself. You have actually gone through that, and you can help other people who are trying to go through those hard times themselves. And it is something that in reality only you can do. Only you can give them that specific value to them. And if you're showing kendama to them in that light, that's incredibly huge, because in order to grow kendama and make it this huge worldwide global thing that everyone can enjoy, you know, it's not all about just the competitions, but how it can actually benefit others in their scenarios and their situations, because I feel like kendama is so unique that it can help anybody. So to answer your question, yes, please go for that and pursue that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, Cam. Next question, we got Cooper Naga.
It's good, Nick. My question's more kind of conceptual, so we can skip to the other more important questions.
For sure. I'll read chat real quick. Will we see different section based off skill level? Beginner, intermediate, advanced, etc. I'm not sure if you were talking about within the SKOOL community of groups. I don't want to, as of right now, I'm not thinking of making a group for beginner, intermediate, and advanced, just all these separate ones. I feel like are the clips and the journeys can all be shared in the same group, the same discussion. There will definitely I don't think there will be different tiers of beginner. Oh, these people you have to be beginner, you can only be beginner if you're beginner. I don't think it's going to be that, but there will definitely be different other groups to share your progress on soon. But yeah, to answer your question, if that was the question, to make different groups in our school right now that only cater to beginner, intermediate, advanced, I don't think we're going to make those specific groups, but we'll obviously be rolling out different things that Zach and I create over the next foreseeable future that cater to different skill levels, and it'll all be scalable. So you're not going to walk into something that can only be for super advanced players, unless it is on a specific topic. But usually Zach and what we're going to be creating is very scalable. So hopefully that answers your question. And I think if nobody else has questions about Gallagher Kendama, would there be?
I'd actually, Cooper, we can answer, Nick and I can answer your question one-on-one if the time goes too long, but I just want to be respectful of everybody's time. 7:30. I do want to ask you guys before, you know, some of you guys might be heading off. This was going to be an hour call, but obviously I'm going to stay on because still want to definitely discuss with you guys. I want to pass some questions off to you. What would you like to see for those who checked out the classroom section, the modules, all of these different opportunities to learn on the classroom so far? What would you like to see? What would help you the most, you think? What would you like to see from us put in there with, you know, with what Nick and I, based on what the experience of the Nick and I have combined together in Kendama, what we've gone through, what the skill level that we've reached, what can be of value to you guys the most? Go with Dylan.
What up, y'all? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bet. I'm sure you guys are gonna do something with this, but like my legs are just always hurting, the classic kendama stuff. And I want to just find some good like pre-sesh stretches and like some recovery things and just like all that like recovery and maintenance and whatnot.
That's perfect, dude, because we already have something for the knees, the legs. It's called It's All in the Knees in the classroom section. I can definitely go deeper on that. I love training and I love like doing all that stuff and have had experience with that myself, you know, from going from
It helps a lot.
a lot of awesome. Yeah. I've gone from really fragile knees myself to be able to play like multiple days in a row, 10 hours a day at events with no problem. So I've distilled what a really nice starting point for people to, you know, to get in the groove, to get into the game with this, with It's All in Knees in the school. And we'll definitely be adding to that and kind of scaling that up and up for people who are really consistent with it and seeing, you know, and benefiting from that already. But yeah, go check that out if you haven't. And if you'd like to have any more questions ask in the school or just message me privately because I'll get back to you and I definitely want to help you solve that.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Chavi.
Yeah. Hi again. My question now. Well, I mean, it's more of a for the things I would like to see. I have a personal problem when it comes to composure. I feel like I think you once made a video on this, Zach, where you get lost in just repeating, like practicing without thinking. So maybe something around those lines that would help. You know, I don't know, maybe like keep yourself composed while practicing, or some kind of tricks that might help build that confidence. I don't know.
So are you basically saying you're having trouble staying like intentful with your practice sessions? Okay.
Yes. Sometimes I just try pull up one turn lighthouse, and now I'm comfortable with that. I'll just to give you an example. And instead of focusing on being calm and composed, I just kind of rush it, you know. And I get lost, and I spend like 25 minutes that I could spend being mindful, just repeating and repeating and repeating without really changing anything. So maybe some video about that would be helpful.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. I think I want to say right now, even though the way you're playing right now isn't inherently bad. It's not inherently like you should never do that. I mean, I can tell you right now that, I mean, I don't know if this is the exact same thing you're experiencing, but for sure, and sometimes when I play Kendama, I just want to just, you know, zone out and just do and flow and you know, just do the tricks that feel really good for me. So I just do that and it's great. But I think what a thing that we can hone in on for sure, Nick, that is, I mean, how to kind of like an option, a course on how to progress, not obviously as the only way to progress, but an option, and kind of like to give a route, kind of a guideline that a person could follow if they want to, you know, narrow in on their intention if they've struggled with staying focused on a certain type of trick before, or they've struggled staying consistent with going towards a trick goal. I'd love to make that and try to staying intentful and with the mind and also gamifying that process, right? Making it interesting and fun because we don't want to do anything that's not interesting and fun. So we will definitely be working on that. I like that idea a lot, Chavi. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. I mean, thank you for listening.
Yeah. Perfect.
Nolan's got a question. He's muted.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Nolan?
So I feel like this might not be the place for those type of people, but a huge problem within Kendama is people plateauing. Whether it be you get bored of earth turns and whatever it may be, and you see people doing 8 tap, 10 tap, and you find yourself in between. I know that was something about 3 years ago. I stopped for like 6 months just because I was stuck on that in between. I didn't quite know where to go. And it was lately that I was able to, you know, pick up like a solid Kendama, and every day I make sure I do around earth turn, you know, 1, 2, 3 lighthouse flip, and just little practice things like that. So maybe there's a place in the classroom for little things for people to do, maybe not like reach the extremes like tightrope, and maybe not like a beginner course, but just some content for people that might be stuck in between, just some challenges maybe they could do during the day to kind of keep them going with, whether it be, you know, hand-eye coordination itself, or, you know, the thought process of staying with it.
Excellent, man. Yeah, it sounds like they're for this period of time that you put it down. I think you just based off what you're saying, it sounds like you didn't know how to go about playing Kendama from where you were at that point. You didn't know what to pursue next. You're kind of maybe lost on, should I try this? Should I try this? What's important? What's not important to my game? And you didn't really have a direction. So you kind of maybe lost interest because of that. And yeah, if it's not to have something to do and to gamify it and to level up, I think everyone is about leveling up and seeing them rise on the ranks of any leaderboard or anything on a game, whether it be a video game or or within the SKOOL community that we have right now. It's just all about keeping it interesting. And I think Zach and I will be, as we have I have a stilt scalability course out right now. I have a tightrope. The tightrope one is a little different, but it definitely, these are things that Zach and I are going to be making in the future for people just like yourself who want to see these things happen, who want to, I guess, on the most simple sense of something, on the general basis of it, is to have something to do and to kind of know how to do it and how to do it well, to have some sense of direction. And I think Zach and I are going to be able to give you a lot of that, and no matter what type of time you are in your Kendama journey. So yeah, please look forward to those next scalability solutions that we'll be building. And yeah, I think it'll help a lot of players who have felt the similar situation as you get through those plateaus and I guess have something to work on all the time. So I get excited for that.
Yeah, thank you guys. I know it was a problem for me in the past, and I've kind of been able to move past it, and I'm in a really good headspace with it now. So I just think it's important for people that might be stuck in the same situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm really excited. Thank you for the question, Nolan. That's huge.
Yeah, for
Getting
sure.
guys to help with getting to consistent. What is it in chat? Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be all of this coming. A lot of scalability solutions that will help you with that. The stilt scalability is definitely centered around consistency. If you guys have checked it out, you'll notice pretty fast that it's all about consistency. So a lot more things like that to come. I think we should go ahead and I don't know. Cooper still has this question, but
Yeah, let's go to Cooper.
All right, sweet. So kind of a weird question, and you guys might already have gone over it. But let's say everything goes the way you want, right? Just like school's going great, G Standards is like almost its own brand now. Where do you see Kendama with like kind of this process of growing, like in your dream world?
You want to start, Nick, or?
Yeah, word. Yeah. So you're asking about the 4 to 8 to 12-year vision with this at this point. Because there's still a lot of fleshing out to do, right? That it's a little difficult to think so far ahead and have the same vision the entire time. It's going to be changing. The vision is only going to be getting broader and broader and bigger, with more ideas and more what ifs and more possibilities, right? First off, for me, I'll say something within the next 4 years, the next 8 years that I want to be seeing happening, that I know is going to happen in 12 years for a fact. I've been seeing Kendama take off in Japan, as obviously the culture is different, but like we just discussed earlier, there are teams, there are clubs, there are dojos. There is a place for Kendama to be at the table as a sport in Japan, as a real sport. Kids don't grow up going to their soccer games, going to their basketball games. Their parents don't drive them to those. They drive them to Kendama jams and events. And they have Kendama places where there are literal Kendama cafes and Kendama shops that are strictly for coming to play Kendama. And I want some form of that to happen all over the world. This is not something that is just solidified to Japan. This is something that should be happening all around the world. And if everything were to go right, obviously this would be a bare minimum. This would be, to have these team aspects, to have camaraderie and real sports-esque excitement at schools and different communities. And, there are these select teams and club teams for different sports out there. And, why can't they be the same for Kendama? I know growing up, I love the idea of wearing the same jersey, the same jacket, the same sweatpants as a team I love to be affiliated with when I was playing soccer. I took pride in that. And it's the same exact thing for Kendama. We are going to make that happen. That is the very bare minimum of what I want to be seeing. And obviously we talked about esports earlier. Kendama's in stadiums, like imagining 5v5, what if we had higher receipts versus the rest of the world in a freestyle competition in a stadium? I mean, I'm envisioning big here. Sold out stadiums for people to come watch the best 5v5 teams in the world. We have something like that, something barely that looks like that at KWC. It's the best. They pretty much took the best 5, the past world champions of catch and flow, and put them against the rest of the world, 5 competitors in a freestyle battle. Something along those lines, but much bigger. I want to see sold out stadiums. I want to see incredible monitors going all over, and just these incredible videos being made of the atmosphere and the energy that Kendama can bring, and because as we all know it can bring. And I think we'll obviously, if anybody's going to EKC this year, then we're going to see a lot of that on a different level. The atmosphere is going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. But I'm dreaming big. I'm seeing Kendama as a sport, as a true sport that people are going to be playing, whether it be for fun or whether it be for real. Just like I played soccer, I liked it. I played it. It ended up being more for fun, and it ended up being not something I took as seriously compared to Kendama, but it still served its purpose. I still gained a lot from it, and Kendama can act as in the same role as soccer did for me. So I hope that answers your question from my end, Zach. I don't know if you have anything to add off that, but we want Kendama to be a full-on sport.
So in terms the vision for this, in terms of the 12-year, I want to have Kendama catch on like how Supreme has caught on in the transcendence of communities. And what I mean by that is this. Supreme started, for all of the, I'm sure most of us know Supreme. It's a very, very popular streetwear brand, hype beast, whatever you want to call it. Well, it started as skate. And basically what Supreme did, it started out this regular brand, and it built and built and built and built up, and to the point where the best skaters are wearing Supreme. Okay, well, people from other different tribes, right? Different interest levels, different communities of art forms, sports, they're seeing this, and they're like, oh man, that's cool. That's really cool. I'm gonna wear Supreme. And this transcends, and this transcendence across different tribes and communities. I see, going back to what Nick said, Nick touched on earlier, Kendama being the skateboarding for the hands. I want to see Kendama, we are working towards Kendama transcending and getting globalized on that level, to where it's like they don't even know where it came from. I want to get to the point where people are like, well, I don't think people even know that Kendama is like a Japanese toy like, right now. Anyway, it's like I don't think they know inherently like, oh, that's Japanese. But I don't even want people to like even to get to the point where Kendama is at a point where like they don't even know anything about it. They just want to get it. They're like, I want to get that because this person's playing it. I want to get that because I saw my favorite like soccer player, like playing it. I want to get it because I saw my, the top, like if you're in yoga, like the best yoga instructor doing it. I want to have it transcend so many communities across where it's just a global thing, where it's just a part of so many niches and so many interests. That's what I want to see, because people don't even know what Supreme even is. They just like, yep, that's cool to wear. Let's go. Let's just buy it. Let's just get into my life. That's the level of popularity and perception of Kendama that I want to see in the world, because everybody can benefit from Kendama. It's given all of us so much. Imagine if it was at the level where people were like, I don't even care. I don't even care where that came from. I don't know where, I just want to get it. They don't even know. People don't even know where Supreme started. It started in skate. People don't even know that Supreme skate. But that's how big they've transcended. And that's the transcendence that we are working towards with Kendama. It's going to take a long time. It might not take a long time, but it's, I'm anticipating taking a long time. But that's where we're headed. Thank you, Cooper, for the question.
Thank you, Nick and Zach, for that great response.
Next is Alex.
Yeah, guys. Big believer in your vision. Super excited to be a part of this first call for the SKOOL community. My question kind of goes along similar lines of what you were just talking about, because I feel like when you think about esports, you think about skating, you think about BMX, you think about some of these other things, which, Kendama, and from a skill level and from an entertainment level is like up there, but doesn't have the same visibility or popularity. One of the big things that seems like, the difference is just the money behind, those sports, the money available in sponsorships, in prize pools, like that drives a lot of it. And I'm curious if you've given thought to like, how do you get there? Like, what comes first? Do we make Kendama so cool that, brands like Red Bull start sponsoring Kendama players? Or do we actually need to get someone major to put some money into it to like get us to that kind of tipping point culturally, to be that popular where we are filling stadiums, for people to watch the best players in the world?
Yeah, I think so. The main thing before money is adding value or giving people the vision that we see and having people stick on. Money is a great thing to have, but if say we did have the money right now, I'm not sure if people would actually know how to use it to get those things. And what is going to happen is what we are with these actions we're going to take this year and this vision that we are pursuing it, and everyone's working together towards this as an ambassador of Konami together. I believe it's just going to happen by itself. There's going to be someone out there who takes just like it already has. We've seen in the past, right? I mean, on different levels, Reed Stark, a BMXer, pro BMXer who got affiliated with Sweets. He just took interest in Konami just because he thought it was very, very cool. It got into his hands, which is in the BMX community, which then he literally created Latvia. Latvia was because of Reed Stark and Estonia, and BMX has already gotten a great exposure to Konami. And it's just because people took interest into it. And what Zach and I are trying to do here, we obviously know that, these other things that we're referencing have a lot more money, but, they all started at the same place to a certain degree. And we are in that spot right now where, without the money, what can we do? What can we do to grow the sport and to make it on such a, and I always use this word, but I think it really is just the most general word to use. Just how do we make it cooler? How do we make it insanely just cool to those people who may not be super players or, really, really super interested in it to build skill and Konami? What if they just want to use it for their own thing, just like Reed did, just like a lot of other Sweets mom members did for their communities? What else? How many other people can we get on that train and exposed to this excitement that we all have and get from Konami? I think it's just going to start there. So to answer your question, I feel like it's just spreading Konami and making it seem as cool as possible. This is one of the, it seems such a shallow thing to say, but we want it to be as cool as possible in the world, and that's one of the visions. So Konami, as if we keep thinking that way and keep with this having this intent and this goal in mind and start and take steps towards that every single day, there is going to be a point where someone, just like you said, that is going to take interest in Konami, who has a little bit of money, who has something to offer, because they see it is going to benefit their sport or their area of expertise as well. And we're going to be able to work together from there. I see that it's going to happen because it's already happened before, and I know it's going to happen again. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that's great. And if I can just add one thought from my perspective, especially as a Dama dad, I think probably the most likely person to like really take an interest and like invest in Kendama in a big way would be a parent who has a kid who's really into Kendama. And when you talked about parents in Japan, like obviously that's such a huge part of it. When you think about soccer or baseball or other sports in the US, it's all about the parents kind of funding, supporting, really being behind their kids in that. So I definitely would encourage you guys, like, obviously we want to make like kids think it's cool and other like people who might be the actual players think it's cool, but how do we sell to parents that this is a worthwhile thing to invest in? Because that's when you're going to start getting the younger kids who are starting young and able to build up to like the highest levels of play. And it's also how you're going to start having money pouring in, because parents will spend money on their kids' like passions if they see a tangible benefit in it and they don't just think it's some silly hobby. So think about how to market to the parents.
Thank you, Alex. That's huge. That's huge. Definitely be thinking about it as well and taking that into consideration. Thank you. And you're absolutely right. Parents will spend a lot of money on their kids and because they want to see them grow in whatever they're passionate about. So I know my parents did that for me when in Kendama and soccer. So thank you, Alex. That was huge.
All right. So Doesn't look like we have any more questions. I think that's a great place to end it off. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the meeting. And actually, before we even end it, I want to finish off by saying we are all reflections to the world of what Kendama is. If someone sees you on the street and they've never seen Kendama before and you're playing, you are now that person's insight into what Kendama is. Why am I saying this? The reason I'm saying this is because I feel like a lot of players maybe are thinking like that would be cool to have Kendama grow this. That would be cool to have this happen with Kendama, and maybe think like someday they'll just wake up and it'll happen with like the companies will figure something out. I say that because I used to think that back when I was like 14, or like even 15, 16. But it's up to all of us. It's up to all of us. This is not going to happen by just the cause of one of us. We can't do this alone. It's going to take a group effort. And that's exactly why that's another reason why Nick and I wanted to start this community, to get all those people who are thinking on that level, who are all, open to thinking way big, super, super big with Kendama, want to interact with those who are like-minded in this sense. If we're all developing as players and as people and developing that for ourselves, and in turn, we're developing the reflection of what the Kendama world, is, and the benefits, everything that entails it, and everything, all the positive benefits that it entails. The stuff that we were just discussing with Alex and Nick and Alex were discussing, I truly believe this will just happen as a byproduct. I genuinely think that, but it's up to all of us. And I am super, super excited to move forward with all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nick and Zach.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for attending the first meeting. We'll have another one very soon. Appreciate you all. And we will have this recording up. Zach, were you able to record it? Yeah? Yeah, it's recording.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool. We'll have this recording up ASAP. So check. There's a group for that on the school. So yeah, live recording. Share it with the people who couldn't make it. And we will see you guys on the next one. So thank you all for joining. We'll see you in the chats.
Super excited.
Bye.
Later, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good one.
Ciao.